What's up, everybody? This is A Force of Nature, Spiritual Awakening, and this is the debate with the Nesbits, raw and uncut. This is my husband, Smooth. I am Force of Nature. What this whole thing entails is an open dialogue of me and my husband going back and forth, talking about different topics, his views, my views, and how that pans out. So this is episode 13. Episode 13, every episode 13 is going to be a recap of the season. Okay? So, this is season 13. I'm sorry.
Episode 13.
This is episode
Season
13.
one.
Season 1. So, we're going to get started. This is part 1. Okay, we're going to have a part 2 coming up shortly after. Tonight. So tonight, we are going to cover first, becoming friends first in a relationship. And the importance of that. And all of these things are going to be, I don't want to say our final thoughts, but it is our final thoughts when it comes to the topic on what we're doing today.
Right.
If we want to elaborate later on, that's a possibility. So, becoming friends first in a relationship, to me, would be extremely important because it allows you to be able to open up to the person, be who you really are, your true authentic self, not having to hide who you are from the person. You see what I'm saying? And that's what friendships are really about. It's about being able to talk to the person and not feeling like you're being judged. Being able to talk to the person and not feeling like they're holding something or dingling things over your head. You see what I'm saying? And it's a genuine rapport that y'all have with each other. Okay? In a relationship, I do think that it is important for people to be friends with their partners for it to last for the long haul. Now, relationship can still last and you're not friends. Okay? But me just speaking, for me, it's more easier if you are my friend because I don't have to feel like I'm walking on eggshells, or I feel like I don't know what to say to you, or how you're going to react, or if it's going to be okay today and it's not tomorrow. So, some people going to have to play that by ear. But becoming friends first is extremely important to me when it comes to relationships. What about you?
Yeah, it's important to me because what I'm going to say is this. When you go into a relationship, you got your own friends. We both got our own friends. But when you become friends with the person that you start seeing yourself being able to be around, and you want to be around this person, and you want to see this person more, and you want more serious things with this person, you want to share life with this person, you want to do things like that. So for me, it's like this. When you become friends and both of y'all see it the same way, y'all both want the same thing. And the only reason you know that both of y'all want the same thing is because y'all friends.
Right.
Y'all got to talk about it. Y'all got to say this. This is what I want. This is what I want. And y'all both realize we both want the same thing. And because we friends, we already kind of knew that we want this. And we both really want this stuff.
Right.
So now it's like, because you both really want it, in the end of the day, there's going to be things that's outside of y'all control. Mm-hmm. But when when you are with a person that is your friend, and you love them a way in which that you will never want to see nothing wrong happen to them, they're going to see the same thing. That's just how we get to learn and interpret what love is and who really love you and who deal with you on this level. So it be like that. Becoming friends first it is important. It's very important because you get to know somebody, you get to understand them, you get to see who they are before any of this other stuff happens. So if you can't become friends, if y'all not on that level, maybe y'all shouldn't be looking to do this type of stuff where it's a forever kind of thing.
Well, do you think that becoming friends first has something to do with also, over a course of time, becoming for each other a strong support system?
Yeah, but it takes, I believe that, but it takes two people
It does.
that is understanding of what it means to be friends. What it means, meaning, when we first started out, it was like this. The reason we are and why we're having this conversation is so we both understand that this is what we're doing. Because I'm not trying to block you from this because this is this. Or, you know, my thing is this. Being friends first is being friends. Understanding each other. And sometimes, to be honest, sometimes your friend might not look at you the way you look at your friend.
That's a fact.
And you gotta understand that. Whether you're a man or a woman, sometimes your friend may not look at you the way you look at them. And if you're a person that stayed around in hopes of this person that you call your friend starts to look at you like this, when you know they look at you like this right now, today, in that time, I think you should reconsider your movements.
Right.
Because it's not going to work for you.
And I also think that becoming friends first is important in a relationship, even when you are getting off to like friendships, maybe even business partnerships and things like that. People that you want to do business with, having some kind of rapport of some kind of friendship. But becoming friends first to me is being able to voice your opinion and not be judged. Also, voice your opinion despise the fact if somebody likes it or not. See what I'm saying? Because it's your opinion, it's your views, it's your thoughts and things like that. And the other person has to be able to process that and see it for what it is. You see what I'm saying? And that's when you really start seeing or knowing that this person can potentially be someone that is a friend or and things like that. Now, if we're talking about an intimate relationship, being a strong support system, being able to, if I don't have it and you got it, you want to see it happen for me, like how I would want it to happen for me. We know it can't exactly be that, but you care enough to want to provide or help or assist along the way.
That's right.
That's what that is.
Yeah.
So what would you pick next?
Well, what I would pick next is side chicks and side dudes.
Okay.
So for me, side chicks and side dudes. What I was saying before in our last video is, if you know you're dealing with somebody that got a woman or that got a man, I think you should understand there's a role you should play.
Right.
You should never want the treatment that the wife is getting.
Right.
Or that the husband is getting. You should never want that kind of treatment. If you went into this knowing that this person got somebody, I'm not saying this right. I don't think it's right at all, for on either level. However, everybody might want to take it to, I don't think it's right at all. But what I'm saying is, if you're a side dude, you need to respect the fact that this woman got a whole man and and she's out of line just as much as you out of line, but she's out of line more because her man don't know.
Right.
But you, as a side dude, you need not to bring her problem because she had a man before she started dealing with you. Period.
Exactly.
That's why you're the side dude. You're the side dude because she had a man, she got a man, or they got a fit, and yeah, she might have got caught up in this. Same thing for you side chicks. Stop playing the game.
Yeah, please.
You niggas that's fucking with chicks outside of your marriage, and she your side chick, stop doing dumb shit. Stop giving her the type of attention that make her feel like she the main bitch.
chick.
Stop
Yeah.
doing that. Stop that shit. Cause that don't make sense to me.
Me either.
Hey, yo, listen, it's a main woman and it's a side bitch. The side bitch need to know who she is. The main chick need to be telling you, look, the conversation, if you ever caught, should be nigga, fuck you, da 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 da. From your main chick, you should be able to be like, fuck that bitch. I ain't never fucking with her again because I don't want to lose this. See?
Right.
That shit should be easy, bitch. Beat it.
Right.
I fucked up. Yeah, I fucked up. This is what's going on. Beat it. I ain't fucking with you no more. I ain't doing this. This is you know why? Because your main woman is the woman that you know you love as a man. Your main dude is the dude that you know you love as a man. So if either one of y'all, man or woman, if you doing this kind of shit and you got a side chick or a side dude, know that what they say is fucking true. What is done, indeed done.
Comes to the light.
No, please. Look, let me tell you something. Please, please, please just know that shit is true.
It is.
It's true. So that's all I'm gonna say. All I'm gonna say is true. And I know it to be true.
Well, when it comes to side chicks, side dudes, I look at it like you need to play your role, play your position, if that's what you decide you will want to be.
That's it.
In my lifetime, I'm sure I have played a side chick role, and my husband played a side dude role.
Yeah.
We already know these things.
Sure have.
Okay, but we knew how to play a role.
And that's
And
it.
that's it.
That's it.
So some people don't know how to play that role because they feel
That's it.
entitled
Yeah.
because they're getting this or they're getting that or
Yeah,
whatever's
and
going
that's not
on.
the case.
And it's not. So things can be real clear off the rip.
And
You see what I'm saying? How
Right.
it is and things like that. If
Right.
people be honest
that's right.
about how things really are and what's really going on. Okay, sometimes people don't want to talk too much, right? So we can't say that.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
and people do what they do.
Yeah. Yeah.
But when it comes
Yeah.
to knowing that you are a side chick and you're just dedicated to being that, or knowing you're a side dude and you're dedicated to being that, know that it comes with other things. Okay, it comes with other people. It comes with a whole entourage sometimes, a whole crew, a clique,
Yep.
whatever. It
Yep.
can come with everything. You see what I'm saying? So you need to know what you're doing, and you need to pick that wisely. Also, when it comes to the side chicks versus the side dudes, I would say that to me, it doesn't matter if the person is married to the person or not married to the person, because they could be with the person for 7 years and you know what it is. You see what I'm saying? Or 10 years and you know what it is, just off the rip. So that's how that's going to actually be. You see what I'm saying?
Right. And I would also say that side chicks are more vulnerable to getting out of line than side dudes. So, side people, if you know they got somebody, don't use the advantage that you see. What's happening today is side chicks is trying to make niggas treat them like the main chick because they gave up some pussy.
Right.
Or they did
and they
this.
think they fucked you real good.
Yeah,
and that's going
and-
to change your mind.
Nah,
But I'm going to tell you
that's-
something. Once you get to a certain age, shit like that don't change your fucking mind.
It ain't gonna
It
change.
shouldn't. Some
It's
people
not
it might.
It's not.
But if you know that this is your person, then that shit ain't changing
First
your
off-
mind.
first
Sides
off-
and
first off,
pieces,
If
Nah.
a dude tell you that he married and
Mm-mm.
he giving it to you on a real way, he letting you know I only want to come and play with you and do this with you.
Mhm.
I don't want to play house with you. I got a house.
Mhm.
I got a home. I got this. Not saying it's right. I'm not saying that. I'm saying for all the side chicks that get out of line,
Mhm.
you are out of line because you knew he already had this. He's out of line because he shouldn't have did this.
Mhm.
We all understand that. But side bitches, stay side bitches.
And side dudes stay side dudes.
That's it. Stop trying to have more than what the fuck you deserve. You don't deserve
Exactly.
what the wife deserves.
No.
You don't deserve
Or what the husband deserves.
You don't deserve that.
And if y'all not husband and wife and y'all been together, I would say, yep, I'm going to say it. If you've been with somebody today, in today's world, for 5 years or more,
I'm going to say 10.
okay, no, I'm going to say 5. He's going to say 10. I'm going to say in today's world.
Right.
Now, I would say
Right.
10
Me too.
in back in the day world, where his ass is at, and he's going to probably say 20. Okay, so,
No, I'm saying 10 right now in today's world.
okay, well that. So, in, what are you going to say, babe?
No. I want you to finish.
I can't, because you did that. So, what you going to say?
All right. I'm just saying in today's world, I would say 10 years instead of 5 years. Because I know what you're saying.
And? Well,
That's it. That's it.
Well, he would say that. So, what I was saying was, when it comes to the whole, what was we talking about?
Being a
'Cause I don't
side chick and a side dude.
Okay, right. In today's world, if you've been with somebody for 5 years or longer, to me, that would be like a committed relationship. If y'all was together, things like that. Me and my husband, we was in a committed relationship, and it was last year. Okay, but I'm just saying, when you think about years adding up and things,
Okay.
I would say 5. In today's world. If we're talking about back in the day, I would probably say about 10, even 7 to 10.
Okay. Okay.
You know,
I like that.
because
Okay.
common
Okay.
law marriage
I
and
thought-
things like
okay,
that,
yeah,
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but things happen at a rapid pace now.
Yeah. It's different.
But if you know that this is the person that you want to be with and this is your person, then you have to let it be known on other sides what that shit is. And also have those things in place and intact. So I want to touch on the exes.
Okay.
So to me, when it comes to the exes, I learned a lot from the experience. I learned a lot from what I would deal with, what I don't want to deal with, what I'm going to allow, what I'm not going to allow, what I'm going to accept, not accept, and things like that. But even in that, you know, you get with a person and you have to accept certain things that you may not like, okay, and things like that. But it has to be things that's not unbearable or intolerable. Or, you see what I'm saying? For you to continue to keep allowing things that you may not like. And it could be little things. You know what I'm saying? To somebody else, it might be a big thing. To you, it might be a small thing. So it all really depends. But if we're talking about exes, I would say what I learned from out of all my exes is that I need somebody that is a full-time team player. Full-time team player. Okay? Yeah, exes might be watching like, oh yeah, I was a team player, whatever, right? But I mean all across the board, all the way around, and things like that. So this is, even when shit get rough or get tough, you see what I'm saying? You still know how to hold your ground. If things were good and fine, you still know how to turn up. You see what I'm saying? So it all really just depends. What about you?
Well, for me, it's more like when it comes down to my ex, I don't have exes. But when it comes down to my ex, it's more like, look, I understood where we went wrong at from the beginning. I don't, I'm not in the space to try to blame her for things. She's gonna be who she is. I'm gonna be who I am. And you get to, like you say, you get to learn lessons. She was like this. This is not the type of person or the type of stuff you like, or I might not be who it is. See, I learned I'm not the person for her, and she's not the person. See, and that's how we got to do. It's got to be honest in this thing. So exes, it's like when it comes down to the exes, it's like, yo, look, you learned the lesson. You got to learn. You got to love. You got to have fun. In our exes, with our exes, you had fun. You got to enjoy life at certain points. You got to feel like, fuck this. I don't want to do this. All of that. That's what come with an ex. So in the end of the day, you got to learn from the things that you've been through before. Do I look at her like she wasn't shit? No, I don't look at her like that. I look at her as a person that she was driven in a way that I wasn't driving to. She was driven, focused in a way to where I wasn't trying to drive to or catch the train to or do none of that too. And that don't make her a bad person or me a bad person. It just made me understand that, I'm sorry, y'all. It just made me understand that I had to go this way so she could go this way. And that's just how it went.
Well, when it comes to me, because I know you're going to the bathroom. When it comes to me with my exes, I have 3 exes before my husband. 3 exes before my husband. And there's a little bonus for somebody that I used to fuck with, right? So, for me, if we're talking about my ex-husband, then it was a lot of love, but it was a lot of arguing, also fighting, and also disrespect, along with cheating. My second ex after him was a lot of arguing, a lot of fighting. I can't really say cheating, okay, even though that may have went on and took place. My third ex was a lot of cheating and arguing, but we didn't have any fights. And with my husband has only cheated on me one time, okay? And even with that, we argue, go back and forth and things like that, but we don't have fights. We have never had a physical altercation with each other. The thing that I like about my husband is that we are able to come to the table and be able to discuss things and work things out and get through things. So that's the thing with me and my husband. But when it comes to the exes, I'm glad that all of my exes are exes, because exes are exes for a reason. You see what I'm saying? This was a period of time in my life, and now this is a chapter in my life, and and you don't serve no purpose there. Okay? When it comes to that. You have any final thoughts on the exes?
My final thoughts on the exes is, listen, life is gonna be what it is, right? Nobody's gonna make the right decision all the time, right? You're gonna strive to make the best decision for yourself, and if you're in love and you with somebody for the person that you're with. But if you are at a point to where she's going to be your ex or he's going to be ex, you trying to make the right decision for yourself, because you seen something or you understood something in a way to where you know this is what it got to be, right? What it has to be. I'm not talking about the people that cop out and just run away. Or I'm not talking about things like that. I'm talking about you really going to try to work things through before all of this ex shit. If they become your ex, when they become your ex because you exhausted every possible resource to be able to stay here, they your ex to show you, look, You got to learn you was given a lesson that now you ain't gotta go through no more.
Right.
You ain't gotta go through this again. Ever again. You ain't gotta go through it. Because you're able to pay attention and you're able to see. So now you can take your time in things that you do. So
what's one of the stupidest? See, I have 3 exes before my husband. He only has one other ex before me. But what would be one of the stupidest scenarios or stupidest things that you may have experienced with your ex? And I'll elaborate on mine.
What I would say is, we went out to eat, and she's the type of person that feels like you gotta be a certain way when you go a certain place. You gotta change who you are to be like you fit here. Whereas I'm a person like, as long as I gotta as long as I can pay to be here, I'm not obnoxious, I'm not none of that. But as long as I can pay to be here, I'm not gonna be told how I'm gonna eat my food while I'm here.
Right.
So if we could be here because we can afford to be here, I'm not about to eat my food because you think I should eat it this way. No, I'm hungry and this shit took a long time to come out. Fuck that, I'm hungry.
And my husband always talk about this scenario.
I'm hungry. I'm fucking hungry.
Every time. I felt like he was going to say it tonight, but I wasn't sure.
I'm hungry and I don't like that. I was hungry and I'm a man. I'm not a fucking woman. So my bites is not going to be itsy bitty, tiny, none of that. My shit ain't going to be like that. I was, pardon me, YouTube, I was fresh home. So I weighed a little bit more, maybe a lot more. Well, I'm going to say a little bit more than what I weigh now. So I was hungry. We waited a long time to eat. I'm not about to eat like no kid. I'm a grown man. I'm not about to take no tiny old, let's say, these pictures with little ass scoops on our spoon.
Right.
No. I'm about to drive my spoon through this motherfucker and eat a big enough scoop to where I can feel like this shit is starting. But that was the stupidest thing.
I would think one of the stupidest things, and I'm talking about my ex-husband, one of the stupidest things that he probably has done was probably, well, he was on parole. Make a long story short, selling bud. Make a long story short, got back for mad bud, like you ain't on parole, when you was only making like a $25 tip. Okay, so that was, you had way too much butter on you for that. You see what I'm saying? That was a dumbass move. If we're talking about my second ex, after him, I can name probably several different dumb things from his ass. But one that I would say is definitely fronting in front of his people. Okay? Trying to talk to me crazy, disrespectful in the car. We had a whole fight in the car and things like that. On the parkway, by one of his people just driving it and the other one was in the back. That was another dumb move. Dumb. And then the third one would be, he was just a liar. So I could name several different things for him. Just lying, cheating. You can't even keep up with your lies, but you're still lying. So that would be another one.
Double shit with a person. So yeah, that's about right. So my thing is, I understand what you're saying. So my thing is this. The next thing would be, we went through 3 already?
Yeah. So what's the next one for you?
The next thing would be to forgive or not to forgive.
Okay.
So for me, it's like, when it comes down to forgiving, this is just recapping all the things that we've done, all the episodes that we've done. So when it comes down to forgiving, to be honest, I'm going to be 100% honest. When I forgive, I forgive. I forgive, meaning you will never be able to do this to me again. I forgive you and I believe you to be the person that you are until you show me otherwise. And it's going to take a lot of time for me to understand and realize you are not that person. Because I know it took me a long time to prove to people that I am no longer the person that I was.
Right.
So I know this is the way it should work. I'm not mad at people that looked at me like this because this is how I was. They might have forgave me, but they didn't forget about things that I've done, and I understand it. And I learned what that means. So to forgive, I forgive you. When I say I forgive you, I forgive you. I don't hold nothing against you. I can be around you and I'm not going to think, oh, you're going to do me dirty. You're not going to do me dirty. You know why? Because I forgave you knowing who you are. If you did me dirty, I forgave you knowing who you are.
Right.
I forgave you knowing who you are. Meaning if I forgave you and I know who you are, that means there will never be a door open up to where you could do me the way you did me then if I thought you slighted me. Or you did something wrong to me. Or you cheated me, or you scammed me, or whatever it was. Or, because I've done things. So, for me to get back into people's good graces, it took me a long time. And that's just because of who I was and what they knew me of. And that's okay. And it works the same way today.
Well, I would say to forgive might not be so hard for me. To fuck with you after is the harder part.
To forget is
To
what she
forget.
said.
So to forgive is not hard. To forget is
It's
the part
harder.
that's
It's harder
not
for
going to
her.
happen. Right.
It's harder for
Right.
right.
So the thing about it is, I look at things when it comes to principles, when it comes to ages, right? Right? For certain ages you know better. Certain ages you may not. Certain ages you may be learning, and even when you're old, you still learning. So my thing is, if somebody has crossed me good enough, I can forgive you, but I cannot fuck with you. Okay? So the thing about it is, what if you're talking about family? Or what if you're talking about friends? People, long time friends. People you've been friends with for years and years and years. And they did something that you just did not like. For me, it doesn't come from something that I do not like. It comes from some things that I do not like. It doesn't come from one thing. So it's not one, it's not two, and it's not three. It's shit. If you're my fucking friend, it might come from 8. Okay? Where I could draw the line of 3.
Right.
See what I'm saying? So the thing about it is, I have a will to forgive. Okay? And working on moving forward when it comes to other aspects would have to be weighed out, looked at, discussed, and viewed. And that's just what I would say when it comes to forgetting. But if you're talking about forgiveness, no, I forgive the person. I do. I forgive you because you don't know no fucking better.
And the whole thing is to forgive or not to forgive. So the whole thing is this. It's not about forgetting what happened. It's not about that. It's not even about taking it personal. Because when you forgive, you no longer take it personal.
Right.
You just understand the person for which they can be. Not saying that person no longer with you. Maybe they choose no longer to be that person with you because they already know that you know, right? So they not that person with you. So for me to forgive is to ask. For me to forgive people is to ask for the same forgiveness to the people that I caused, because I caused a lot of people.
Right.
I've done a lot of wrong things. So for me to forgive is to ask for the same forgiveness to the people that I've caused and I did wrong. It coincides. If I forgive you, I'm not expecting you. If I'm asking for your forgiveness, I'm not expecting you to think that I'm a whole new person initially.
Right.
I'm not expecting you to think that things is gonna be like this, because I got my own thing going, right? And you got your own thing going. I'm asking for forgiveness because I'm telling you I did wrong to you. I'm holding myself accountable, and I'm asking for forgiveness. And if you choose not to forgive me, that's your right.
Right.
You don't have to forgive me.
And it goes both ways, because it might not be
Right.
you that has to forgive, it's the other person. It
Right.
can also be that.
Right. And that's
So,
that's my whole point. My whole point is I forgive because I've done things that may make people who I've done these things against. It may make people who I've done these things against. It may make it hard for them to forgive me. You see what I'm saying? So I ask for forgiveness because I did things bad. I give forgiveness because I know what bad things are. I know where people can be. So I give forgiveness because I know a person could be at this point in their life.
And
they
believe
like
it or
this.
not, me and my husband have to forgive each other
Yeah.
for certain things, the way
Yeah.
that we spoke to each other and spoke to each other
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
acted a
Yeah.
certain night,
Yeah.
and that comes with forgiveness
Yeah,
too.
it do. It
So
sure
it doesn't
do.
even have to be a relationship, because I mean a relationship like a friendship and things like that. It can be an intimate relationship where
right. It can be something
have to
so
forgive
close.
'cause you know,
it's
okay,
something so close
we
that
was
you love.
upset, we was angry,
Right.
and
I love you so much
Yeah.
that I don't want you to believe that I'm going to look at you this way and I'm going to treat you this way. I
Right.
want you to understand that I'm going to love you and I'm going to love on you and I'm going to love. I want you to be good. I'm going to worry about what's happening with you. If you ate, I'm going to be wondering about, okay, you ain't ate and the money, look, what's going on? Why you not eating? You don't
Right.
feel like eating. I want to know with your just regular being self. Like,
and that comes along with, regardless too, what was probably being said and things like that, because you know the person and you know.
And it comes with that. And my babe is very good at that. And I can say this. What I can say is, me and my babe, we could have a situation. Let's say we had a conversation that we didn't agree, because in the end of the day, we conversate a lot, and both of us, we have conversations, and it may go left at times, conversations, because we love each other enough to not break certain things. We don't cross certain lines. Because of the love that we have for each other, the respect that we have for each other, the trust that we have for each other, we don't cross certain lines, right? But there will be times that we are like this with each other. But what I can say is that she is good at doing this and doing that. She is good at still wanting me to be okay. Even though she might not be feeling me right now. She might not be feeling me right now, but...
And yes, there's times when we not feeling each other.
Right, but...
So even though we come up here and then
But
stuff,
I'm
we
be honest
have our
with y'all.
time.
I'm be honest with y'all.
But we love each other.
I'm be honest with y'all. YouTube. I'm be honest. There's times, look, I'm a guy. So I'm not going to do things against our marriage. I'm not going to do things that. But I might do things that might tick her off because we married and we worked together, and I didn't do this because I should have did this. I should have did it. You see what I'm saying? So my thing is, let me let y'all understand that she is my woman. I'm her man, but she is a woman and she's entitled to be a woman. I don't try to restrict that from her. I love that about her. I love the fact that she's a woman, that she's feminine, that she could be like, oh, want to cuddle up against me and nuzzle in my neck and babe, let's watch movies, even though I don't like the movies she watches.
He don't want to watch no movie.
I'm sorry. Even though I don't
So-
like the movies that she watches,
We
I
watch
will
them
watch
sometimes,
them.
but
I will
we
watch
don't
them with her. Why? Because I love the fact that she loves me.
Mhm.
I love the fact that she loves me, and she shows me that she loves me when we go through our roughest times. Our roughest times is going to show us that we love each other because we don't walk away from each other. We're going to walk through these rough times together. And she's a good woman in that sense. And for all her exes, I'm sorry, y'all. I ain't got no beef with nobody, but I'm sorry that y'all didn't see and understand what she was possessed within herself. This ain't got nothing
And I
to
would
do
say the
with
same
me.
thing to his ex. I know
You
you
see-
watching.
Yo, listen, this ain't got, yo, look, who she is ain't got nothing to do with me. I'm sorry I missed it. But when we got together, I saw something in her that y'all didn't see her in her, and I promoted her. And I said, dude, do this. Because this is, and that's why she is where she is, because she is in who she is. This me, her doing the things that she doing, having these YouTube channels, and this ain't got nothing to do with Smooth. If anything, it only got with me encouraging her to do it more. That's it.
Yeah.
But she's who she is. She's knowledgeable. She know what she's talking about. My thing is that. Do what you want to do because you knowledgeable on this level.
A strong
I'm not-
support system.
I'm not that, but I'm here to
No,
tell
you
you.
are that.
I'm here to. I'm here to tell. I'm not knowledgeable on what you know.
No, but a strong support system.
Yes, and that's what I am, and that's all I'm gonna be. I'm gonna tell you you can do it, and I'm gonna do whatever I can do to make sure you can do it.
Mm-hmm.
And you're gonna do the same thing for me, and that's the whole point of it. It's about exes is your exes for a reason. They're your exes for a reason. My babe is never gonna be an ex to me.
Right.
I'm never gonna be an ex to her.
Nope.
This is our last stop.
Yep.
We was just fortunate enough to find each other and realize that this is gonna be our last stop. Individually. Before we told each other that, we knew that individually this is gonna be my last stop. She knew that. She didn't have to talk to me and tell me that this was, she knew it already.
Mm-hmm.
So when we knew it together, we know this is our last stop. It's it. This is it for us.
Yeah, it is.
YouTube. This is it.
Yes.
And you're gonna always see us or her if I'm not there. We always gonna be together.
Yep. Forever.
And that's just it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, yo, look, life ain't over because of your exes. Because of
No.
life, listen, you can begin anew, you can do your thing, and your ex don't have to be an enemy. If they choose to be your enemy, be smart and do the right thing by that, because you will
Exactly.
know. Don't hold on. Don't hold on.
Mm-hmm.
Don't hold on to this or that or these men. Don't do that. I'm not saying don't respect what you have, but understand what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if it's a bad situation.
I would
Me-
say all my exes led me to my husband.
I would say
And
my
that's
ex.
what I would say.
I would say my ex, me and my ex, are in positions right now to where we want to be. She's where she wants to be, and I am where I want to be. That's what I would say. She's where she wants to be, and I am where I want to be. We have no complaints about where we are today. She don't have no. I don't know. I'm not gonna say that because I haven't spoken to her, and I don't know.
But I would like to believe that she don't have no complaints about where she is today in life. And if nobody know, I don't have no me. I can attest to me not having no complaints about where I am today in life. Right now, I don't have no complaints. I know me, and I can do, and that's my thing. So that's just it for me.
Okay.
When it come down to you, it's like the exes is the exes, they gone. For me, it's more about what we doing next, because I don't know. I just think about what we doing next more.
Because that's how we are. Well, what's your next topic? We got 2 more until we go into part 2.
It's on you. I brought it back.
Okay. I'm gonna say.
Nah, part 2 would have been 3, because we only doing 6. So we got an intermission.
So
15-minute intermission.
we have 2 more, and hitting below the belt, the man role, woman role, in a relationship. Now, when we did this episode, hitting below the belt was my husband's question, and the man role, woman role in a relationship was my question. So we're gonna touch on that.
So what I'll say, hitting below the belt is when you in an argument, y'all mad at each other and you doing things to make the person hurt through your words. It's hitting below the belt. And I don't know what other people do to hit below the belt, but I know what it is to be hit below the belt. So what I'm going to say is this. I don't think no one, if you don't feel that way and you're going to be with this person you love, and you know you love this person, I don't think you should hit below the belt. Because hitting below the belt is words that won't never be able to be taken back. So you can say this. You can say da-da-da-da-da, and you can hit below the belt with your words.
Right.
And a person won't never ever forget that.
Right.
Never. Whether you man or woman, I don't care who you are. It will never be forgotten. It will never be forgotten. And it will always be remembered. Because mentally and emotionally, and it's that. It's along the lines of mentally and emotionally. Well, he said this. She said this. They gonna remember
Right.
what is said that matters to them, not to you.
Have I ever hit below the belt with you?
Yes. Yeah, for me, you hit below.
Have you ever done it to me? Do you think?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we both have done these things.
But
And what we're saying is
it's not good.
it's not good.
That's the point.
Mhm.
The point is, I can't tell you that I haven't done it and tell you that it's not good. I only could tell you that, listen, I've done things and it doesn't work for a relationship. Because I can only tell you my wrongs and letting you know that, look, what doesn't work for this. So hitting below the belt doesn't work for no relationship. I don't give a fuck. It doesn't work. It doesn't fucking work. So when you get to the point of where you're not doing that, and y'all talking and y'all having conversations, it's no longer hitting below the belt. You know why? Because you're having a conversation. You're talking to the person that you love, that means the most to you, that you don't want to have these conversations. You don't want it to be what they call today toxic.
Right.
I'm not about to live in a toxic nothing.
Nope.
Look, I don't live toxically. I don't want to be a toxic person. My wife don't want that. We don't want that. So we talk and we share things. So it never becomes
Right.
this. We may find ourselves, because we're not perfect, saying things that we're going to hold ourselves accountable for later on, and that's just it. We hold ourselves accountable for things that, and we make sure we don't do it, we try not to do it again.
Yeah, that's what we do. Hey, below the belt. Me and my husband been together for almost 11 years, and he's hit below the belt. I've hit below the belt in a relationship. It doesn't make anything right.
Right. That's right.
So,
That's right.
but the thing is, if you can find a way to not do that, and that's what we do, try to find ways to not do that, that would be beneficial to the relationship. Because if you know you love the person and you care and you don't want this to end and things like that, then you're going to have to get creative when it comes to rectifying the situation on what you said and what you meant and things like that. Now, don't get us wrong, because there's certain things that you may hit below the belt that you ain't going to take back, that you ain't going to say, and the other person feels like you hitting below the belt, and you don't feel like you hit even underneath the fucking belt. You see what I'm saying? So, that right there is something to look at when it comes to your partner, your friend, your family member, and things like that. That's what I would say. So, the man role and the woman role in a relationship. What is that? That's the same topic. Okay, so I would say the man's role in a relationship and the woman's role in a relationship is going to be different, but there's still an equal point to it. So, regardless if you're a man or a woman, when one person is weak, the other person is strong in a relationship. That's how I look at it. I look at it like that. Now, if you're talking about a man's role, how people view it is the man goes out there, he works, and he gets the money, and he makes sure the woman cooks, and she cleans, and she makes sure everything's neat in the house, and okay. So, my thing is, even if the roles was exchanged or rearranged for the moment, it still has to be provision from whoever it falls on. That's just what it is. If it's because this is today, this ain't then. This is today, and this is not then.
All right.
Go ahead.
What I would say is, I hear you say this is today, but still, even with 2025, most women cannot protect their husband. Most women right now in 2025, most women cannot protect their husband.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what they expect their husband to do? Protect them. So, right now, most women, married women, expect their husband to protect them when they out together, and they expect it. They don't have no, they not even thinking about nothing. No, you the husband, you my husband, you supposed to do this. They gonna automatically expect that without a shadow of a doubt. So, a man's role is to be a man. A woman's role is to be a woman. You can't talk to a man like you a woman, like you a man if you a woman, because you're going to expect a man to protect you when a man want to do something wrong to you.
And men shouldn't talk to women like they're bitches.
Hold on. Let me say what I'm going to say. Because Cause I didn't cut in that all. I didn't cut in. I'll let you say what you gonna say, and I was quiet. What I'm saying is this: as a woman, you cannot expect a man to do this, right? If you think you tougher than that man, when it comes down to a man wanting to fuck you up or slap you when your man not around. Your man not around, you was talking shit, y'all was talking shit, nigga slap you. And you expect your man that you disrespect on a regular basis, you talk down to the nigga, you can't expect him to want to come and defend you. Because he already know that you talk down to him. So, I'm not saying that's us. I'm saying that it's people in life. People in life do things like that. Women, men, they do. You can't expect these type of actions from a person. So when it comes to men and women roles, that's what we're talking about. Men and women roles.
That's what we're talking about.
Men act like men. Women act like women. Women don't act like men and then go get your man. Women act like women. So when you go get your man already know my woman is a woman. She don't ever act like a man. So I know, nigga, you out of control. She came to get me. If she came to get me, I know I ain't got nothing to talk about with my woman. She told me you did this. I'm coming in to deal with what you did to my woman. Because I know my woman is feminine. She acts like a woman. She don't act like a man. She ain't gonna get all into it and do all. No, she gonna say you got out of line. She gonna tell me about it because I'm her man. That is a man that she knows is gonna go and deal with it like this. So a man and woman role is that. Everybody play your role. You a woman that like men, play your role. You a man that love women, play your role. Because being a man, this might piss some guys off. Being a man that love women, you're gonna be put in a situation where you're gonna have to always hold your manhood up. And you gotta be able to hold your manhood up, man. That's just it. Because whether you got a woman or not, you're going to have to be able to hold your manhood up. Because you're a man. You're going to see certain things happening that ain't right. And you're going to have to be able to be man enough to not allow it. That's just going to have to be. That's just it. You're going to have to be man enough to be able to know that you're not going to allow it. Because you know it's wrong. Because you're a man. So, men and women in a relationship, our responsibility is for me to be a man. And give you a platform as a woman that you can follow. I'm a man, you can follow this platform.
So the man is supposed to lead.
Right.
A man is supposed to lead the home and the household.
And a woman is supposed to be able to lead. She's supposed to be able to follow.
Yeah.
She don't question a man on everything that he leads. When a man leads, she follows, and she don't question everything he says. He needs to lead in a way to where she don't feel like she got to question everything he says.
And if he can't lead, then there's an error.
Right. And if you are a leader and she can't follow, this is an error.
Well, yeah.
Same
That
thing.
part, it's the same thing. It doesn't change.
So, at the end of the day is, men, if you are not a leader, women will not follow. Your woman, the one that believes in you, it's gonna be hard for her to follow because she know you're not leading. Women, a man is not gonna want a woman that questions everything that he do because you're not a follower. So, if you question every single thing that a man do, he's not gonna want you to be his woman because you don't know how to just follow.
Right.
You're not gonna be a woman that know how to be submissive and follow because you think it's better your way as a woman.
Right.
And this is a man in the picture that knows more than you. And I'm not saying nothing, but if you want a leader, this is what you gotta expect. This is what you gotta look for. Not man and woman roles is different in a relationship.
It is.
My wife is there to, when I'm down on my own self and she see it. I ain't gotta say it. When I'm down on my own self and she could look and say he's down on his own self. He didn't say this to me, but I'm gonna make him know that you ain't gotta be down on your own self because who you are is this. And I love you because you are this. That's what make that nigga bounce right back up and say, yeah, you right, my babe, you right, babe, you right, babe. Because you right. And you make me feel good about this. I'm good in what you say. I feel good in it because you speaking that back into me in this sense as a guy. Because a guy gonna have to take a woman, and once he take a woman, he leaves everything, all his family. A woman is different. She is still able to go and acquire certain information from her family members. A man is not expected to do that. A man is expected, you should have this together. Because your woman is supposed to follow, see?
Yeah, and I look at it like in a sense, like what my husband says with all of that. But when it comes to the man role and the woman role, I think being there for each other when times is rough, when times is hard. Everything is cool when shit is cool. And when things get rocky and shady and uncertainty, right, you're not sure, you have to know if this is the person that you can, do these things for. Because that's another thing.
Or with.
Because you could be...
with. Not just for, but with. Because it's both of y'all.
You want to just pause? Nothing enough?
No. I was just adding on.
That. So, when it comes to all of that, there's a lot of things that comes along with things like that. You see what I'm saying? Why? Because there's people that may not understand. People might not understand how to come together with their partner and understand that what woman, man, whatever, however it goes, whoever's the leader in a relationship in today's world, people might not understand who's the lead. Okay? I could understand clearly that my husband, he's the leader of the household. Okay? I know that. Alright? But there's some people that might not understand that because they look and feel or think or whatever the hell they want to do and shit. But we do shit from the old school in a sense, right? It might be an old school twist with things we do. But the thing about it is, what we know is that we were friends first. And that leads us back to what we led with from the beginning. We were friends first. And with that, even when we get into conversations or arguments and disputes and things like that, we can come back and have a conversation. Doesn't mean that you agree with it, or still. You might not still like what the person still said. You might like a little bit of what they said, but they ended it, whatever, you know. But you understand and have some level of understanding. So the last one is liars. For episode 13, the recap, part 1 is liars. How many liars have you came across?
Well, I've came across many liars, and what I'm gonna say is this: I have never been a perfect person, but I was able to be fortunate enough that God showed me who I should be around at that time and what I should be doing at that time. So it's more like that for me.
Mm-hmm. Well, when it comes to liars, to me, I know a lot of them. I know a lot of liars, people that don't tell the truth, people that are dishonest, deceitful. I come across a lot of them. Not saying that I haven't lied in life, right? Because we all probably have, right?
Yeah.
But my thing is, today, if you are lying, right? And it could be about anything. Okay, like to this very day, we know people that owe us money. We know people that owe us money, and things like that, and things that's due to us, and people still act as if that's not the case. So, when you look at it in a perspective of liars is somebody that takes from you.
Mm-hmm.
It's somebody that steals from you.
Yep.
It's somebody that takes away from what you could have.
Yep.
That's the combination of liars that we encounter. Now, is that always going to be the case? I'm sure it probably won't. But we know it. We understand it on levels of understanding your vibe and the energy that you give out. You see what I'm saying? So for me and my husband, how we look at things like that is we remove ourselves from the whole situation. See what I'm saying? Look at everything and be like, yeah, we ain't doing that again.
That's right.
We ain't doing that.
That's right.
Whether it's doing business with you or collaborating with you or, yeah, nah, it ain't gonna be none of that. You don't even have to really even say it because you know it. The fuck you gotta say shit that you know. You don't really have to say it. But if you want to say it, we can say it. And then you might not want further the conversation after we're done. And that's how it goes. Okay? What about you with the liars? Any final thoughts on that?
The liars is the liars. And my thing is this. Can't be truthful if you're a liar. And that's just it. If you're looking to deceive somebody, you're a liar. If you can't hold yourself accountable for certain things, you're a liar.
Yeah.
And that's just it. Because I can't go through life, even right now, looking at y'all like I'm looking at y'all. And, yo, accountability is that.
Mm-hmm.
And I hold myself to a certain standard. Like my wife hold herself to a certain standard.
we hold our own selves to a certain standard. So when you're talking about a liar, it means a lot, because that means they don't hold themselves to a certain standard in which the way I do, or in which the way my wife do. So I'm not saying, yo, we are perfect people, but we hold ourselves to a certain standard.
Yeah, we do.
And that's the shit.
Oh shit.
We will argue with each other about making sure our standards are kept. Before we won't hold ourselves to these standards. And that's just it.
Yeah. I would say, since we talk about liars, me and my husband, we don't lie to each other about shit. You know, we just have an open dialogue, a conversation. I can't guarantee that maybe you don't say shit right away, but it's not a malicious thing.
It's never.
It might be timing, or it's not the right time to say. So it's not like you hiding shit, because if you ask some shit, then we just say the shit.
It's never
right?
a lie.
But a lot of people don't have it right. It's never a lie. So a lot of people don't have that, and that's something that I think people should implement, is being honest in your relationship. If you can, do that, because that's what we do. You know, it's plenty of times me and my husband be like, you know what I'm saying? But certain times you might not want to say it at that moment, right? Because of the vibe, because you're chilling, because you're having a good time, whatever. But then you'll say whatever you need to say. Whatever you need to say. But outside of that, a liar to me is somebody that has already taken away something from me. Okay? So, whatever. My trust, my time, my energy, whatever you want to call it. Okay? And we're going to end this on this note, because this is part 1. And we're going to come back with part 2 shortly. If anybody wants to get their chart analyzed, please hit me up. My phone number is 516-738-6042. My husband is doing consultations when it comes to camping, anything that needs to be fixed, home improvement. Okay? Also, anything that has to deal with gardening, camping. Babe, would you like to elaborate?
And survival skills, anything like that, anything that you're just interested in on doing yourself, you can hit me up for a consultation, 45 minutes, $100. And believe me, when you walk away, you'll learn a lot more than what you knew before you called me.
Yep. And everybody knows I have my sales up there for you to see and view. It is still the tourist season, so we have the tourist luxury sale going on. Anybody interested, hit me up. We're going to come back with part 2 of the season finale, which is this. And we're going to go on and move over to season 2. Season 2 is going to be alive. Keep in mind, everybody, next week we will not be doing
the week
the
after
debate.
next week
We're taking a break.
Going live, and
right.
It'll be a change of scenery and things
right.
will be a little bit different.
So that's how it's going to be.
Right. Get ready for that, because we upgrading and we're doing things better.
Exactly. So this is the Force of Nature, Spiritual Awakening. Love is love. Peace and blessings to you all. And I will see you on the next one.